Now, one thing I want to talk about, yeah, let's have hope. As I've said before, my guides have said, have hope. Yesterday was a big day where Trump thought he was going to just destroy everyone with cruelty and his power. And he thought he was going to start this whole Insurrection Act thing and get rid of the 14th Amendment, which really that destroys America. That goes against the Constitution. You're not supposed to do that. He should literally be removed from office for even thinking about it. It destroys birthright citizenship. So probably someone like me would, let's face it, if I did something wrong, if I'd made a misstep, um, I have Irish heritage. I'm Irish French, probably some British. And they could say, you know what, your grandmother, your great grandmother was Irish, so we're just going to yank you out of it. Actually, I wouldn't mind if they want to send me to Ireland. Um, but it's like that. You know that he's going to go after all the brown people first, and it's just, he's so racist. I don't know how anybody could even say that Trump's not racist, but because he is. And I was even shown that he was a slave owner in a past life. He was um, Mr. Gore in Frederick Douglass's accounts. He was Mr. Gore, and if you don't know who that character and person, based on person, go look that up, and you'll know exactly who Trump was in a past life. That's just one of his past life. Yes, I do think that he was Hitler. I do. I absolutely do. I think Trump was Hitler. Um, anyway, hope. So, um, he tried all that yesterday. He was trying to do some massive damage to America and our Constitution and our freedom and to scare us, to scare us. He wasn't allowed to. And he's not going to be allowed to anymore. You know, a lot of what he does is to mentally, emotionally stun us like a scorpion. And that's what narcissists do. Most of what narcissists do is mental, emotional. It's very rare that they actually physically abuse someone. They have other people do it, and but they do it through money. They do it through destroying your property, someone you love, like your pet, your children, well, you know, distancing from you, distancing your friends and family for hurting your career, destroying your work. I've been through all of this. Um, and so a narcissist hurts you emotionally. So 45 has done that this whole time. That's what he's really good at. As far as physically hurting people, he has other people do that most of the time. It's also a control issue. They're so controlled, they have to control all their lives, all the details, and multiple lives, like having different relationships with different women and different sexes. And anyway, so a lot of what he does is emotional, mental. And that's the worst of most of the worst of what he's done and what he's been allowed to do. Really, the worst thing that he's been allowed to do is hurting the children at the border, but also his multiple grapes. But right now, in particular, as I've said before, you have to pray, and you have to pray hard and have protection spells, have protection mantras, meditations. There are many ways that you can, and methods to protect yourself and others, your country, and to call in the angels and the guides and the realm and not allow someone like him. Because as I said, he may think that he runs the world right now. He thinks he's king, which is a weakness for him to think that. It's a real weakness. He has a weakness to his addiction to money and sex and food and all those things. The real power is in letting go and being able to let go. Now, what's going to happen at 45 when he passes away, which isn't going to be that long from now? Let's face it. It could be within this year. It could be 20 years, but 20 years tops, he's going to pass away. Everything that he owns is going to fall from him, and he has to go stand before the divine naked. No money. Nothing that he has accrued through his horrible acts throughout his whole life, the people he's hurt. People have committed suicide because 45 has stiffed them and done other things to them. He has to go stand naked, and I just saw 444, before the divine, as we all do. And he will have nothing to clothe him, nothing to show for his time on earth. He will be completely naked. And that's not going to be easy for him. He will not have his gold. And by the way, You notice how they're not talking about the gold at Fort Knox anymore? They've already done the deed and probably sent it to Switzerland, etc., the country that starts with R. He They showed that he got rid of the ivy that was on the mantle in the White House for decades, and he put tacky, gaudy gold leaf over the fireplace and all these crappy gold like figures all over the place. It's like, dude, are you a used car salesman? What do you not have any idea of even like what good taste is? And no, he doesn't. He's just a fool for gold. He's a fool for gold. He's a slave to money, like literally the epitome of someone being a slave to their ego, which is being chained to the earth and never being able to and God and the divine and the higher realms and all those things. And no ascension, no evolution. He's totally tied down to the earth, to his lower extremities, which is like the devil card being tied to the devil. He's not evolved at all. He thinks gold is it. He thinks money is everything. Sex is everything. But he doesn't have all the power. He has fake power. And those words that he said yesterday, where he told blatant lies to the DOJ. And I think that most people saw through it. I don't think that anyone, yeah, there's a few people, right? Most say those lies and his blowhard, bloviated false statements, his egotistical weakness. And they thought, what a jerk, what a loser. Because he is. He literally is. And I think at one point everyone's going to turn around and say, "What a jerk! Look what he stand the guy. I can't stand him." There's a lot more people than that than he realizes, and the news isn't showing. Like the Veterans March yesterday, they didn't show that, and just how angry most people are. Most people are not for 45. So he had those statements yesterday. Most people see through it. They know he's lying. They know that he has a weakness, and that's that. He didn't get to do, and they had a judge today already shut down his thing where he wants to end birthright citizenship. It was already shut down. Now, some readers are saying that he's been arrested, blah, 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 blah. I don't buy any of that. We would know. I really think that we would know these things. But wishful thinking, maybe in a different timeline that's happened. So I'll end this live and come back in the hopes that these will all upload to my channel. Thanks for being here. Bye.